Boy oh boy, Microsoft is finally pushing Game Pass. It feels like it's been years since the platform existed and it was kind of just there. It didn't do really anything big. And I feel like that's mostly because of the pandemic. Microsoft didn't have enough high quality and quantity game titles or game to put on there to really push it for what they really want it to be. But now I think they finally have enough and they really want to push it, push their vision of what they want the future of gaming to be, push the future of how much money they can make, being one of the only big companies doing it. So if you're kind of lost, let me explain. If you've watched the showcase, you've probably seen this clip about 1,000 times. Play it day one with Game Pass. And that's because basically Microsoft decided to really push Game Pass. Marketing wise, we're gonna get to why they decided to put it in the showcase and not really talk about it in more terms. But first off, what is Game Pass for those who might not know? Game Pass is a service kind of like Netflix. It's a subscription services that gives you games. The games are not yours, you do not own them, but you can play them, and they rotate. Some of them are fixed, some of them are always going to be there because it's studios that Microsoft owns, but other games are going to be temporary. In most cases, you're just gonna have about 100 games to play at all time. Maybe this number is gonna increase. It's probably not gonna decrease, right? And you get all of those things on both PC and Xbox, depending on what you decide to pay. So you have the PC Game Pass, the console Game Pass, and then the Ultimate, which is basically both. And the reason Microsoft gets to do this is because they own so many studios that they can just push this really hard. So we can see here, this is an article about every game studio Microsoft now owns. This was made after their acquisition of Activision Blizzard's. And it's pretty big, right? So for publishers, this is like Blizzard and the Bethesda studio. They have ZeniMax for Bethesda and stuff like that, which is known for The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, and pretty much everything. Their upcoming games are Ghostwire Tokyo, Redfall, and Starfield, which is the big one that's going to be on Game Pass day one, which a lot of people are looking at. And then there's Activision. This was not complete. Well, this is complete, but it's not taking effect until 2023. So the games are not going to be on Game Pass right away, but they will come to Game Pass. I'm pretty much willing to bet. Then they have some random developers, right? The guys that make GoldenEye, Sea of Thieves, Halo, Gears of War, Mojang, which is obviously Minecraft, Ninja Theory, which did cool stuff like Devil May Cry and Hellblade, and a bunch more. The makers of Forza, and some more stuff, Obsidian Entertainment, which are really cool. And basically this allows Microsoft to have a showcase that looks like this, which is a lot of games from a lot of different publishers. Some of them are really big, some of them aren't that big, but it's okay. And we can take a look at every year because they only put the next 2 years, because, well, the next 12 months, because they really want to push forward the idea that Game Pass is now, the future is now, old man, right? So we can look a little bit at what they're doing, right? Obviously, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, which a lot of people wanted to play. Valheim is coming to Game Pass. Plague Tales, continuation, stuff like the Callisto Protocol, Microsoft Flight Simulator, stuff like that, right? Scorn, Persona 5 Royal, which was really cool. And those are all big games. And then for next year, which is 2023, we have huge stuff like Redfall, Diablo 4, and Starfield. Now, Diablo 4 is not coming to Game Pass day one, but I believe it will be on Game Pass at some point, just because the deal is gonna come to fruition in that year, so we'll see. They also have a partnership with Riot Games, which is huge for both PC and mobile. Right, they have League of Legends and Wild Rift and Teamfight Tactics and stuff like that. The Personas are gonna come to Game Pass as well. So Microsoft can get really cocky because they have a lot of content to put with Game Pass, which is pretty much what I figured they would wait to get going, right? Now, on a marketing sense, this makes sense, right? They're pushing the next 12 months, which is going to be really big. There's been a game content drought for the last years because of the pandemic mostly, and the studios had to take a break, slow down the pace of work and everything, and it wasn't really good. So for a lot of reasons, the content kind of slowed down, and now they're like, okay, we're back, and we're back in force, my dude. So that's always something to keep an eye out. Now, how they did the marketing for the whole event was basically, you can see here, there's going to be like a game trailer. Game trailers always have this kind of same story, right? There's a big setup for a climax that's like a lot of action, a lot of information at the same time. Oh my god, everything's happening. You can see the flashing light. I don't have the music because of DMCA, but you can see like the story is coming to an end, and then you're gonna see like, okay, like boom boom boom, then it's gonna be the title, the date of release, where you can get it, and then right after that Microsoft puts Game Pass day one, because that means if you're already with Game Pass, you're gonna get the game. And if you're not already with Game Pass, why would you wait, right? So this is Redfall coming to console and PC. Boom, played day one with Game Pass. At the end, not at the beginning, at the end, because they don't want you to see Game Pass as something that's cringe. They want you to see Game Pass as something that's a must-have. Their goal is that every gamer starts having Game Pass, and then they can increase the price. Then they can do whatever the hell they want with Game Pass. But the first step of using this monopoly they kind of have is to get every gamer to have Game Pass. So they don't want to seem cringe. They want to get your interest with the games you're interested in, right? They want to keep you interested in the game. And then there's like a little snippet, just like that. And then next game. They don't want to overplay their hand. They don't want to make everything about Game Pass, but this whole event was about Game Pass. This whole event really was, and I think they're just gonna push it to the limit, right? So one of the reasons they can do this whole thing is that they don't really have that much competition. The biggest competition they would have would be like Steam, but Steam is never going to go down that route. Steam is going to be the game purist, the like own your games kind of deal. But Sony already has plans to kind of counter this whole thing, but it's kind of like Sony coming up to me and being like, we have a plan. We don't know what it's going to be, but we have a plan. And basically they only have the pricing out right now and stuff like that. They have like a few different things, and they have their catalog pushed out, but there's not really any concrete information yet. I'm sure there will be. There's the Sony Direct or something like that that's gonna be there, but at the moment of making this video, there's nothing like that right now. So another problem Sony will face is that Microsoft has both Xbox and PC. Xbox, which is a widely popular console, and PC, which is widely popular system. A lot of people game on PC that will get Game Pass. Now Sony has PlayStations, and the problem with PlayStations is that you have the PS4, which is kind of obsolete because it's so old, and the PS5, which no one has. The launch was such a mess that even if it's available now, people will still believe it's unobtainable, right? They talk about PC a little bit, but this is for cloud gaming, and we all know what cloud gaming is. That's gonna be kind of cringe. And the release date they want by the end of the first half of 2022, which if you look at the calendar right now, we're like in June. Look, buddy, it's gonna be rough to do that in the next 2 months, but I believe in them. I hope they succeed. I just am not sure how it's gonna be. Overall, I feel like this is a huge win for Microsoft. They're gonna make a lot of money out of it. Well, I don't know how profitable it is, but I know it's really sustainable. They're gonna be able to get a bunch of games on Game Pass. The Xbox app even was revamped. If for those who don't know, the Xbox had an app and it was shit, and now it's like and now it loads properly, all the games load properly, you can click and it's super responsive when it wants to be. But it was updated like really recently. Like you can see here, whoa, it's so responsive compared to what it once was. Believe me, those who knows. The app was just a shell of what they wanted it to be, and now they've updated it at the same time as the show. So that's just like to reinforce the fact that yes, it was all about Game Pass. This is the real thing they're trying to sell you during this thing is Game Pass. And a lot of people are gonna purchase this. A lot of people are gonna try it at the very least once their game release, and then Microsoft, it's kind of gonna be up to them to see whether it's going to be a huge success or a horrible failure. But I think they're gonna invest enough money into it that it's probably not going to be able to fail. It's gonna be really hard to tell until it happens because it's the future of gaming. But I believe the future of gaming is gonna look a lot like this in 5 years. Whether you like it or not, Microsoft is going to pave the way for a huge industry. The streaming of games, and especially once cloud gaming becomes less cringe, is going to be huge. Anyways, that was my take as a marketing specialist on Game Pass, on their announcement and everything. What I figured were the big points. What do you think about Game Pass? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.